Crypto Pirates, welcome to Chatting with the Captain on your Discourse Syndicate. I am the Captain, RG3, coming at you with another solid interview, this time with some really cool Hexicans. So let's see, got the sound going, everything's good. Let's say hello to the chat, say some things. You know what? Before I say hello to the chat, I want to tell everybody, how do I say this? Well, you know what? I haven't done enough research on actually what happened. But on the Twitters, would you guys try and have a little more couth? I'm not saying to be clean. I'm not saying to be angelic. I'm not saying to not have fun. I'm saying, can we have some more fucking couth? Be a little cooler about how you guys act and quit alienating other communities. And just, I mean, come on, guys. Get your heads out of your asses, all right? I mean, seriously, get your heads out of your asses. We need to take this to every human being on the planet, because every human being on the planet deserves it. So I need to see it in a good light. And guess what? Unfortunately, you're the fucking representatives of this thing, okay? So act like it. Act like good custodians and good representatives, and quit acting like jackasses. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, welcome everybody. Thothschild, hey, what's happening, man? Hexico's getting hot out here. Yep, it's getting hot. All of crypto. Everybody has had enough of the bear market. We have bear shit up to our ears. We're tired of the bear market. Let's kick this thing off. Let's get it moving. We're done. T-Rob in the house. Make sure you like and subscribe. Guys, I wanted to throw a shout out to T-Rob. He is the new producer of Chatting with the Captain, along with the King, of course. He is the producer of all Discourse Syndicate. But T-Rob is actually producing the show, helping me out, making sure that T's are crossed, I's are dotted, and the Captain doesn't forget all the stuff that he's always been forgetting, like when he books guests and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, T-Rob, for handling business and taking care of me. You are appreciated. Who else we got in here? Robert Kelleher Jr. Dude, I have a friend, and I lost him a long time ago. Are you in Florida? Are you my old friend, Robert Kelleher Jr.? It's odd you have the same name. What's going on, dude? Hex Huddle, welcome. Dougie, let's get it, mofos. Yeah. Sandy Beach, my lady. Thank you for being here once again. Milf Tony, OG, Crypto Journeyman, Don Montoya, All Authentic. Hey, Alan Thick. I thought it was, I'm trying to be cool because the last time I missed Side Effects name, how he spelled it out. So I'm just trying. Anyway, Tea Time. Hello. And Samurai Dan. Good to have a samurai in the house. Always good to have a samurai. So what's up, everybody? All right. Thanks for coming in the chat room. Appreciate you guys. So I'll give these guys a quick introduction and let you guys know a little bit about what's going on. So when the Highest of Stakes crew came to us and wanted to make a documentary, we got involved. We became producers, executive producers, and we believed in film as being a way to reach the masses in a good way, in a way that print ads and all these other things may not reach audiences. We thought that film would be a great way to do it. So we jumped in with both feet. And that project over the last year has morphed and changed, and our positions in it have changed. We never intended to be like part of the movie in the movie. But turns out we were. I ended up with a pretty significant part in the film, and changed our roles, and now here we are sitting on the precipice of this thing finally coming out and getting run around all kinds of different distribution companies, I guess I call them, that want to take it to the next level and get it to the people and distribute it. So very cool process, and we're excited about it. But we're not done. Muse wants to do more work. They want to bring a sequel out. They want to get more content about this community out there. And because Hex is so big, it's so much bigger than all this. It's bigger than crypto. and when you get the word out in a big way. So when we heard about these next guys, and their company's called First Names Films, and they're Hexicans. So when they came to us and said, "Hey, you guys interested in getting involved in another movie production at a kind of a different level?" And we were excited. We're like, "Oh yeah, let's talk to these guys and see what's up." Well, what they came up with is actually brilliant. They make they're up and coming film company. They've made a few films already. They got some already in the hopper, ready to be distributed. In fact, my kids are in the living room watching one of the films right now. And we actually have one of the actors in here with us, which is cool because I'm like, "Hey man, you look familiar." And he's like, "The actor in the film." I'm like, "Oh shit, duh," and the kids came in and got to see him. It's very cool. We're sitting here watching the movie, and here he is right here gonna interview with us. So cool stuff. These guys are doing it right. They're up and coming. Their film after film after film is getting more and more successful. So it's obvious where they're going. So of course we want to hitch our buggy to these guys and get involved and get the community involved, because that's what they want to do. They want to offer the experience of filmmaking to the Hexican community, and do a community organized fundraising participation project here. So it's really cool what they've come up with. So I'm going to bring them all on, and I'm going to I know everybody's names, but I'll let them introduce themselves. I don't think they want to. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Their names on the IMDb and stuff. So anyway, we have Owen, Joe, and JR, or Junior, whatever you like to be called.
It stands for Jeff Ryan. And sorry Jeff for doxing Ryan. You, Jeff, but you doxed yourself when you starred in all the movies.
Yeah, your name's up on the marquee, buddy. So, and very good job.
Actually, I'm
a
junior.
Very good job,
by the way.
What's that?
I am a junior as well. So there you go.
I know. Okay.
And just so it's clear,
thank you very much.
Joe is an acronym for Joe. Nothing more.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, so let's introduce yourselves and your positions with the crew here and what you guys do, and then we'll get into some history. So start off with you, Owen. Let everybody.
Yeah. I'll start. I feel like I recognize a lot of people in the chats, but so I'm Owen.
You're a Hexican.
I know, because I've been in the chats. I've been deep in the chats. I'm a producer alongside Joe for Mooch, and I primarily work with some of the financing business side of the.
Tell everybody what Mooch is real quick.
So Mooch is the movie that we are working on right now, which is our crime comedy that Jeff wrote and is planning on directing. And that is basically our next big project. So we're trying to take things to the next level. It would be our fourth feature film. And that's the movie that we're trying to both introduce more like Hex content than our last movie, which we were able to do, as well as involve more people into the project, and then also involve higher tier celebrities is the goal. And also sell it at a higher level and get into more bigger prominent festivals. So that's the plan. And I've been invested in Hex for a long time, since early 2021, and been involved in the community for a long time. And actually, a lot of our bigger projects wouldn't be possible without my Hex investment. And so we're very grateful to that. And so we want to keep the ball rolling in that sense.
Nice. Junior?
Yeah, I'm Jeff, Junior, Ryan, whichever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm a writer, a director, a uncredited editor in all my movies. But yeah, I've been making movies for like 15 years, so a lot of bad ones that no one will ever see, and then started making some good ones that have done decent over the past few years. And the three of us have another movie coming out this fall called Mean Spirited that we're super jazzed about. And Joe and I wrote the script together. Owen and Joe produced it. And Yeah, it's awesome. We're so thrilled with it. It premieres in London at the end of this month at a great festival called Fright Fest, and then I think we're doing an LA premiere in the coming weeks as well, and
Sweet.
then we'll distribute it. Yeah, I have like a background mostly in, practical filmmaking. I've also distributed movies as well, so I have like a business experience in the actual releasing of movies, which I think is a really valuable thing in like a weird way. It's just like I'm sure RG, as you know, like when you're distributing a movie, like you get hit up by like 20 companies and trying to find the right one, and like how to negotiate those deals when they all sound kind of weird at first. And
Yeah,
And
I
they're all
I got a
scams.
random email today from somebody, and I'm like, who the hell is this, and how did they get
Yeah.
my email, and how did they even know that we're making this film? And so I sent it along to the production crew, and they're doing whatever they're going to do with it. Like you said, it's
Yeah.
probably a scam or whatever, but it's like
in all
almost when you
caps,
get
But
your
it's
first
like-
credit card, right? And they start sending you all this other crap from everywhere.
yeah, totally. But
And then, Joe, why don't you share a little bit about your writing and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, my name's Joe. I wrote and produced Mean Spirited that we all just finished wrapping up. Showed a screener to my family last night. Dad said he was actually proud of something I did, which is a first. So very happy about that. I've been writing and doing a lot of like comedy in Philadelphia. Started working with Jeff and Owen a couple years ago. Jeff and my wife both knew each other growing up, which is how the two of us got to know each other. Met at a wedding, talked about the Big Lebowski for a long time over some White Russians. It was a good day. And I know Owen through Jeff, and we're boys now. We're all cool together.
Yeah, I should mention how Jeff and I know each other. We went to college together, and I forget if we did improv comedy stuff together, but we just generally, I felt like, did a lot of goofing off type
I'll be
friend
honest,
stuff.
Owen, the way we met was on the dodgeball court, which is pretty random. But
Yes.
there you go.
It is funny that at some point in our lives, all three of us have done some cringe improv, I think. That we no longer do.
Okay, not cringe.
You guys are funny though, because
Okay.
I've only got to watch the first part of the film, but the one that I have seen is you guys are pretty funny. Got to admit, pretty funny.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, the new one is even where it's a big step up from the one that your child is watching in the other room. But hopefully
Jeff is always like, "Get Mean Spirited in front of them. It's our highest production."
I know.
value."
I'm like,
It's our
that's
best
the
one.
worst one.
And this is the one that now. Do you guys have distribution set up already, or is it
We do.
you're looking for distribution? Okay.
Yeah, we signed a deal earlier this year, and so it's going to be coming out early next year. And right now we're kind of we'll have like 30 reviews of the movie come out the day after the screening at the end of the month. And then, basically we kind of like build up our audience organically. And then, when you have the big release, you will sell it to a streamer and another company as well. And I don't think we're going to do theatrical. I think there's like a chance we would do a small theatrical for this movie, but it's most likely going to be on like a streaming platform.
So you said that. So once you guys sell this film to a streaming platform for distribution, then at that point they kind of take over as far as when it comes out and how it's released and all that. Is that how it works?
Yeah, we have like we'll be pretty involved this time, just because on our last movie, Mass Hysteria, we were still kind of like new to the relationship with some of these platforms, so we kind of were at their discretion for what they want to do. And this time I think we have a bit more pull, so we're going to kind of determine when it comes out and the terms of that, but it's it's taken years to like get to the position where we can be a part of those discussions. But yeah, we've got like a few people interested already, so we're pretty excited about it.
So years. When did you guys start making films together?
I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
It's 3 years, and you've put out.
For the first movie, Joe and I didn't work on that one together, and then Joe came in kind of at the end of Mass Hysteria and ground up helped mean-spirited. Like, it is Joe's and Owen's movie, basically. You know, they're every day doing every single decision. So
this is the team. This is the team. Get everybody working like a well-oiled machine, and every year we get a new piece to the machine, and it becomes just even better.
Yeah, we're always trying to like scale up each film. So the first film, you know, was a tiny budget. Then the next film was like 5x that budget. Then the next film was like 3 to 4x that budget. And then this next one, we want to, you know, just keep growing sustainably.
Yeah. So you guys are building on top of film on top of film to make a bigger film, keep getting.
Yeah, that's right.
Snowball effect.
To be honest, it was more. It's kind of it's rooted in the idea of, you know, let's treat people with respect. Let's not over ask, but over deliver. So those movies are made possible by us putting in a ton of sweat equity and, you know, getting little bits of money for each film, a little bit more, so that people can trust us with more and more. And our attitude has been like, if, you know, let me show you that if you give me $500,000, I'll make it feel like $2 million, and kind of keep adding on top of that for each movie, because we want repeat investors. We want a community as a part of it, not just take your money and go make something.
That's what's been nice, is that the last couple of movies we've had people come in for money and have already told us, like, once this comes right back, I'm putting it in your next one, and just going to keep rolling that over, which is what we're looking for. Like, people long term that are invested in our team and not necessarily just one movie or one product.
Yeah, the other benefit of doing bigger, better movies each year is that it makes all your past movies more valuable if you're kind of on that track record. Because if you make a bigger movie and with bigger name attached, and you make a bigger splash, then more people are going to watch all your previous films. And so you build out these assets, and they can like mature in value. And if you keep doing that, then all your previous movies become more and more valuable.
Now, do you guys, is there like is it different for every contract? Is there like residuals that come in for it and all that?
Yeah. And that's something we've been really fortunate with, is we've been really particular about which deals we sign, so that we actually own a majority of every movie still, and who we released it with. So for instance, like Owen just said, if Mooch, the one we're currently fundraising for, if that's a big hit, we're in a position that we could do like a library deal where they take our whole library to HBO, for instance, and add additional value onto that purchase for that reason. That's, you know, essentially that just means that we still, traditionally you will like give up the rights to your film when you distribute it, and so you may not get the money back if there's residual efforts, but we've been fortunate that we've made deals where we do get a lot of residuals, and we see profit now from those movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of horror stories with people that get duped into selling their movie to someone, and they promise them the world and they don't make a dollar. So we've
so how do you combat against that? What have you guys learned?
Do every job so you know when someone's trying to take advantage of you.
Right.
Yeah, I think honestly it's been, I released my first movie myself because I had music rights issues and I had to fix those myself. But in releasing that movie myself, I got like a firsthand look at where the money goes, how money gets split, how deals are made, and things like that. And it kind of put us in a really good position to kind of have leverage over companies trying to buy the movie. We're like, well, actually, no, that's a really bad deal, and we'll make more money if we do it ourselves.
Jeff, I think there are probably some people interested in film in the comments. Do you mind sharing your? Because I love your takes on what kind of deals to take and what kind of deals not to take. Because if you wanted to talk a bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll mention it briefly because I don't want to like be like nerdy about it, but it's like if anyone tries to like sign you a deal for like more than 7 years, I'd run. And I think, you know, it's very common not to get money up front, which is called MG, where like, you know, you hear the stories of film goes to Sundance, sold it for $10 million. Those are pretty rare. Traditionally, what will happen is you'll get hit up by a lot of companies. A lot of them are frauds, and they'll try and sign you for 15 years and then spend marketing money, quote unquote, on your film, but they're just hiding losses on your film. And it's just a really dangerous game for a lot of films. I have a lot of friends who've never made money, and that sucks. And that's just because they've been in bad deals, and not to their fault, really. It's just a bad industry in some of the ways. And yeah, we've been really fortunate that we just have vetted every company that's reached out, and we just signed with like some great people that were honest and kind of did right by us, which was great. And
we'll work with similar people again if they did right with the last
yeah,
stuff.
if you find someone honest, I would say like value that, because it's just it's a hard thing to find, and it goes a long way, I think.
There's a famous example that's going on right now. I think there's a lawsuit with the production. I believe it's for Men in Black. That movie has been out since 1997, I think, and it has not turned a profit. And like everyone knows
the series or the first film itself.
The first film itself, like the writer,
insane.
I forget his first. It's his last name's something Solomon. He's been very vocal on Twitter about like how much he has not made any money off of that movie and how huge it was. So like anybody that wants to look into that, that is basically the large scale version of what we're talking about, of just predatory distribution.
Wow.
Yeah. Elf is the same thing too. It's crazy.
That's
no.
Yeah.
Not Elf.
Elf.
The guy I worked for when I first moved to New York was the one of the producers of Elf, and they have to keep an LLC open because there's so many lawsuits against the movie that eventually, if they make money, they'll get like a huge amount. They have to keep the company open.
Oh my gosh, that movie's huge, man. That's
there's no way it's not
classic now.
Yeah. Me and my wife watch it 20 times every Christmas, so we're paying its budget, I think, just in views.
Same here. We watch it. We watch it every year. I mean, it's
so good.
It's a staple.
Yeah, so it's a rough industry. So it's really rare when like, and that's why I went like invested so hard into Jeff, because I like loved his model for like delivering profits, and then I get like the tax loss, and it's really awesome. So hopefully more people get it, because it's really cool.
Well, I'm glad you guys are cutting your teeth and learning the ropes, and you've done it quick too, because it's only been 3 years. I mean, that's probably a lifetime though in the film industry. It's probably a lot of scraped knees.
Well, 3 years for us three. I mean,
yeah. I mean, together, obviously.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm riding Jeff's coattails, just so you guys know. I like pivoted from finance and was working in finance, but then loved working with these guys, and so I flipped into this. But I really rely on like Jeff's expertise and Joe's expertise a lot of times.
Ever since I met Jeff and Owen, my average sleep is plummeted. It's in the 4s, I think, maybe the 5s on a good day.
Wow.
So let's talk about the create. So you guys got together. So now obviously you guys are in sync when it comes to creativity, right? And I've noticed that your films have a lot of comedy. And is that the direction you guys are going to go with things? It's just always going to be kind of horror comedy and tragic comedy stuff?
Yeah, I'd say I think like we never like set out to be like, this is the kind of movie we make, but it's, we could set out to make the most like serious drama in the world, and it'll end up being funny. It's just, I don't think, like Joe and I, primarily write a lot and have a lot of scripts after Mooch as well. And it's kind of, I think we explore all genres, but it will always be a staple of comedy. Kind of like if you look at like the Coen brothers, I think, not to compare ourselves to legends, but I like their model of, they'll explore every genre, but their movies are kind of always an air of comedy. And I think that's just when you have like you make the movies you grew up watching, or you like watching, or you want to see. And I think I want to see comedies. I miss comedies, and I want to make movies that can have a heart, but also have a great comedic backbone that people can enjoy, honestly.
Absolutely. It makes everything else land better. If you keep the audience laughing, they forget the drama, or they forget the story, and then the story hits that much harder because you're too busy having fun and enjoying what you're watching.
Yeah.
So as a film troupe here, what is your guys' plans for the future as far as what you guys want to see happen? Sky's the limit? You're just having fun, or what's going on?
No, I think we take a pretty serious approach to like the future of our filmmaking careers. I think that's, we try really hard not to take fees whatsoever in all our movies. So we kind of work pro bono for the sake of when our movie makes money, every investor gets paid back before we see a dollar. And that's usually our model, just because we want people to trust us and we want to keep making movies, and we see the value long term instead of short term. I could take a fee, pay myself this and that, or stock money aside for future equipment and things like that. But for us, I think what we see is every movie you make, you expand your network, you expand your value in this marketplace. And I think for us, we make 5 feature films. I think the world starts to take notice of you a bit more, and you start to get bigger and better things offered to you. And our goal is to direct big movies and write big movies, and
Sure.
eventually be like showrunners on something once we've kind of have enough of an establishment. So I think that's kind of like the long term goal that we're doing, and we kind of want to build a community around that, honestly.
Absolutely. I never want to go back to the office, Captain. If you see me in a cubicle, I've lost.
Right on. So then, so let's talk about your financial future then. Are you guys all Hexicans?
We are.
I'm a coward, so not that big of a Hexican, but I'm a Hexican.
And they've all sacrificed on my instructions.
Just waiting.
We're broke filmmakers, and we don't have that much money in the freaking first place. If someone wants to send us some hex, we can be bigger Hexicans.
Yeah.
Feel free. I hear it's cheap right now, but we're hoping it'll get higher.
We've had some green candles, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, we're actually on a nice little run right now. We've gone, in the last few weeks from the 3-cent range. Now we're in the mid 5s, so that's a nice run. While the whole crypto space is burning around us, and the whole space is starting to move a little bit. But I mean, this bear market might last a little while longer. I mean, we've been in it for a while, but just hang in there. This too shall pass, and we will see the bull market again, and then everyone's going to be happy and holding hands and singing Kumbaya and all that bullshit. Right now, everybody's at each other's throat and pissed, but we're it looks like we're getting ready to pull out of this bear, unless something catastrophic happens in the crypto space. I'm hearing a lot of stuff in the political world that is, I mean, everybody's riled up in the political world right now. Little surprised to see what's happening with the midterms coming, but that's a topic for another show. But so back to you guys in crypto. So the reason you guys came to us is like, hey, you guys want to help produce some more more films, since you guys have been in that already. But we want to put another twist on it. We want to invite the whole community to invest, and we want to invite the whole community to participate. And we want to, continue to build on that. And I'll tell you what, the Hexican community has rallied around a lot of causes and brought a lot of money into projects. And some of them have done well. Some of them have completely failed. But there hasn't been a shortage of them. And we've been, doing what Richard has told us to do, which is, you guys want it, go out and build it. You guys want to market it, go out and market it yourself. Get out there and do something. So you guys are doing something. You're bringing something to the community that we can utilize as a tool. So now let's talk a little bit about what you guys are suggesting, how you guys are suggesting this to be a tool for the marketing of Hex.
Yeah, I can talk about that. Sorry, I have some party guests over. I'm on vacation, but I wanted to talk to you regardless. So the last movie, I just, because I've been invested in Hex for a while, and it allowed us to make our last movie. And so I made Hex a very prominent sponsor just by myself. And a lot of people really liked it in the community. And then also a lot of people were really interested in my tax loss strategy, especially if they're an American. And so I kind of told them, yeah, I don't pay taxes. I promote Hex. I make cool movies. And then they all were like, how do we get in on this? And so this is me saying, okay, here's how you get in on this. You can do this right now if you want. And so all my friends have already invested who were originally asked.
So let's talk a little bit. Let's roll back a little bit and let's talk a little bit about the tax benefit part of it. How does that work, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, so very, very briefly, there's a special Hollywood carve-out, I call it, in the U.S. tax code that basically allows for the year that a film like movie LLC, because each movie has its own LLC, incurs expenses. They can basically pass that along to investors as a loss that they can just put on against their ordinary income and their capital gains. And so all of our investors of at least like 5,000 or more, we can issue them a K1 and then they can just write it off against their income. And so people like who have sold businesses, who have cashed out of crypto, or who have just income in general, like that any smart, wealthy person is like craving losses like this. Like I know I was, and I think other people are too. And so it's a really cool opportunity to do that. And the other cool, and this is where my friends make fun of me. They say I've built like the greatest tax Ponzi ever, because you can just, again, like you're deferring your tax liability, right, to the next year. But what if you have another movie, right? And then you could do it again. And then you can just never pay tax to the government if you don't want to. And so people just really like that idea. And so I think that especially the crypto community is a little bit more, depending on what you think, I think they gravitate towards that idea a lot more. And so that's why I thought it'd be a natural fit. So it's like promotional element, like establishment, and save money on taxes, gains.
That's the American dream, Owen.
Yeah, it's a very scalable asset. Marketing, it's like I don't know what more you guys could want. So
it is a perfect scenario for small investors to have a little piece of something, to participate, like you said, to help market, to participate, and to get a tax write-off and the little scratch on the side, from the profits of the movie for the investor, right? I mean, that's part of it too.
Yeah. Right? The other cool part about movie investing, which is the same reason I invested in crypto, is because it has wild moonshot potential. So it
really
could like 100x.
Really does.
It could like 100x, 10x. It's a very scalable asset. Like you hear about all the cool stories, like all of our favorite movies that we watch that did have good finances and weren't like scams or whatever, like really did amazing things for people, like totally changed the lives of anyone who had equity.
Yeah, you hear about examples of like Paranormal Activity was made for $25,000, and that movie grossed 9 figures and continues to make. I think they're on 7 of them now, however many there are. Like there's 7 of those movies, and they made that first one for 25 grand. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
I also like. I mean, I always like saying too. It's like the part of the appeal too is that there's no shelf life for a movie. So as Owen said earlier, it's kind of you invest in this thing, and it's something that randomly will just have spikes for all time in some sense, where unless like something drastically happens to like the industry as a whole, but you'll in 10 years the movie might have total relevance again. I mean, a great example honestly is COVID hit, and one of the highest grossing movies of the year was the Steven Soderbergh
Contagion.
Yeah,
it outgrossed almost every movie in theaters that year. Crazy. Just from VOD, because everyone wanted to watch Contagion, which is kind of wild. And it's like one of those things where obviously, that's a rare thing, but it's a cool opportunity for movies. And then there's also this part of this investment too is kind of cool, is that like it's a very public thing that is very fun to be a part of, because everyone in your life knows movies and knows streaming service, and you get to kind of point at this thing and be like, I helped make this, which is kind of a cool thing, I think.
Very cool. Very cool.
My brother's in sales, and it's his go-to like icebreaker. Like, what do you guys do for fun? I invest in my brother's movies, and I'm an associate producer now, and he loves telling that. He gave the best man speech at my wedding, and he pitched our movie for 5 minutes of that speech. I'm pretty sure.
He did. He did.
I'm not joking. Jeff is there. He can advocate for that.
I got a call out.
Yeah, call Jeff out of the crowd. I was like, there he is.
So I was in Hollywood working at a radio station, and of course back then it was like if you worked anywhere in Hollywood, you were auditioning for film and all this other stuff down there. I mean, it just was part of the game. And so while in radio, I was going to acting school at the Sanford Meisner School. They call it Playhouse West. And I was going and doing these auditions. And when shit, I just lost my train of thought. God damn it. What were you guys talking about right
Andy
before?
Meisner. I didn't know you went to acting school. That's awesome.
We were talking about
you
were in LA, you went to acting school,
but
and
Jeff,
somebody convinced you to go to a hotel room, and then you stopped
no, but
talking
what
there.
I was getting at was
Where
how
that
different things were then and how they are now. So they didn't have really the IMDb, is that what they call it now? Where everything's online now. And back then it was, like you said, it was casting calls and pagers and your SAG card. That was like the whole thing was going to getting your SAG card was like the big deal. Like you had to get a speaking role to get your SAG card, to get in the union, to get a job. And now it's this whole different field, right? I mean, the IMDb and getting ranked and rated. Could you explain that process a little bit and how what things look like nowadays as far as the movie industry?
I mean, like I'm an actor as well, and I studied acting when I moved to New York, and it was like a similar
Stella Adler.
What?
Stella Adler?
No, not Stella. It was Atlantic Theaters Company.
Okay.
Which I didn't love, so I don't often promote it very much, but it was fine. But it was like the same sort of thing. It was like you have to get your SAG card to kind of get into the bigger section of Hollywood versus like the student film section of acting. But it has changed dramatically now, where it's kind of this mostly because of streaming. It's just added accessibility to performers that it wasn't before, where a lot of streaming platforms can have movies where people are, some of the lead actors of movies on Netflix and things like that may be their first speaking role in a movie. But if you make a unique film and you find an audience, you can somehow position yourself as like a film with meaning and a film with financial value, where I think back in the day it was very much studio run and kind of gate kept, which is still, there's a ton of gatekeepers still, but it feels like you can kind of find these back doors into this industry in ways that you probably couldn't before. Because
of the internet, now you can figure out, you can navigate a little better and because
and
everything
media too.
Else was just, word of mouth. I mean, the best it was for, so us starving actors out there in Hollywood, like we did extra work, a lot of extra work, in order to make ends meet. And, you get paid, like 60, 70 bucks a day or whatever for it. But what we all did was, and we had pagers, is we would all tell each other where the set was that they were working on. If we had, whoever had the job that night, because we'd go and we'd raid the craft food tables for dinner and shit. So we can all go eat dinner and say, hey, there's a good craft service over here, so come on over and hit this one at such and such corner of Sunset and Vine or whatever. And everybody would converge on that set, and we just knew how to get in, and just go up there and act like you own things and start filling your plate up. And
oh my gosh,
act the part.
Just act the part, and then we'd walk off, and
you ever watch Ricky Gervais's Extras?
No.
Oh, it's on HBO. It's one of my favorite shows. It's called Extras. It's all about movie extras. It's
really?
Yeah.
Oh man, because we played that game for a while. While you're going to acting school and waiting tables or whatever it is you're doing. I was lucky enough to be in radio, so I didn't have to wait tables. But
it's a grind, though. I feel you.
My other buddies did was wait tables.
Are you gonna pivot your highest of stakes feature into a full-fledged acting career, RG?
I doubt it. I want a full-fledged career on a fishing boat somewhere is what I'm looking for.
I hear they're bringing the Pirates movies back since Johnny won his case. He's going to go be Jack Sparrow again. Maybe there's a part for you, Captain.
Maybe his cousin or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You're Johnny Depp's like third cousin that shows up and expects a job. It's like, I'm here. I'm ready to work. Let's go.
Ready to pirate. Let's go do it. Let's do it. So, yeah. So the movie industry has changed a lot, and you guys have gotten yourselves into a position that probably people like you couldn't have done, you know, in the olden days. But hats off to you. Now let's talk about what you guys want to do in your movies with crypto. Are you guys going to try and bring the subject of crypto to your movies, or what?
I think Owen, you can handle.
Yeah. So our idea for this one was that we would have like Hexicans and people who like Pulse Chain who invest in the movie, and they would have like Hex and Pulse gear at the concert scene. And so there'd be pretty wild call outs. This movie we've been working on for 5 years. I see a lot of people like, you should name drop crypto more, or you should like have a crypto focused movie. We'll start working on it. We might like tap the community to build like the next like a little bit more themed movie project. This one we've been working on for like 5 years, and we know can like sell for money. And so you have to start that process, right?
Dude, all you got to do is sit on Twitter in CT Twitter, you know, crypto Twitter, for a week, and you've got like 5 or 6 movies worth of content in there in any thread.
I am sort of with you as like a crypto Twitter. Everyone freaking out about Tornado Cash today, and all there's always so much fun.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do.
If we have funding, I'll start writing a crypto movie right now. I'll start doing it after we get off this call.
I mean, I'll also say too, I think like part of like good advertising too is like you don't know you're being advertised. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's
right.
If the movie is playing to the masses, yet crypto and Hex is a part of it, it feels a little bit more like the cool kids club in a sense, where it's, you know, it's the thing people want to know more about, or I guess it would be bringing newer people to your audience in the sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, film media is going to get out to a broader audience. People that probably never or don't have I mean, probably everybody on the planet has heard of crypto, or knows something about it, or knows somebody who does know crypto, but they don't know crypto. So, you know, using film itself to get out there and at least tell a story, a little bit of a story of, you know, what happens in this space. I mean, people just don't know. They don't know what's going on. I mean, we do because we've got our finger on the pulse of it. But I mean, man, it's like people don't even know how to get a Coinbase account opened up, and we're sitting here talking about, you know, what Tornado Cash did today. You know,
I think that's probably how you make. We are very
advanced.
You focus on some older guy that knows nothing about crypto and takes the advice of his like computer tech son or whatever and says, "Dad, go buy 10 grand of this coin," and he overnight becomes a crypto millionaire, and then his life has changed forever. That's a movie.
There we go. Copyrighted, Joe, before you say it on stream.
We'll make it before anybody else can figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. I did see a good question. Is it all right if I
I can pull that one out. Are you talking about this question here?
Yeah, Jeff. I think you could talk about this a little bit. I think you have a good answer for this.
Yeah, I mean it's on average it fluctuates, but like a traditional movie that you've probably heard of, I would say the average budget is anywhere from $2, or I guess I'll say like $1 to $50 million. It's a pretty big range, but it is pretty common. Like there's you know, if you're looking at like Marvel movies, you're in like the $200 to $300 million range for the movie being made, and then if you're in the like Little Miss Sunshine area, that's like the $5 million range. And then the betweens are like probably like you know, trying to think of like a movie that would be The Gray Man would probably be like that just came out. I haven't watched it, but it's probably in like the 60 million.
No, it was 200.
That was 200.
Yeah, it was
For real?
200. It was an expensive, boring ass movie. Oh my god!
Joe,
I tried watching
this
it.
is public. Easy.
We said that's whatever. You said the comments had to behave. We said nothing about how we had to behave. That wasn't clear.
No, I didn't tell anybody to behave. You guys let it hang, man. Go ahead. I mean,
he was talking about. I don't even want to. Maybe I bring up the drama on crypto Twitter. Maybe I don't. But if you guys don't know that, there was some really funny drama with the new Hex logo being the Barnstable. Is that the sponsor of that soccer team?
Of this one of the football teams, yeah. There was just an
Hilarious.
issue with the logo itself. So they put the Hex logo and the Hex colors on a red shirt. So it just kind of
the fans hated it.
and yeah, it didn't blend right. And I saw that. I was like, yeah, that kind of. And then I saw people like putting up some of their ideas with just the white logo, and it looked cool. It looked good. Stuff looked good. So it was like, yeah, it was kind of a flub on the actual design of the logo itself, being put on the red. So that started the spark, and then it turned into a shit show from there, and it just got, it just degraded the whole.
Just like Hex fans battling soccer fans. Soccer fans are like, "You're stealing our thing," and then the Hex fans are like, "You wouldn't have a thing if it weren't for us." And it's like a whole funny.
It sounds like the fight from Anchorman, where all the newscast people are fighting each other.
That was one of the most epic fight scenes ever, man. That one was great.
Spanish language news is here.
Yeah, they all kept coming their own gangs. That was great. I
love it. Yeah, and we have sort of a sponsorship too, but ours is a profitable sponsorship, and people can help create a profitable sponsorship, which is cool.
Love that.
Yeah, that's the thing is when we first started fundraising for the highest of stakes, we did a donor funding phase, and we raised like $750,000 for just in donations, and that wasn't producer mentions or anything like that. And then from there, I think we got close to $3 million for the film.
Wow.
with all the people that got involved and came to the table. So yeah, that budget was up there pretty high.
Yeah, and it looks like from the clips, the production value is going to be
it looks
pretty insane.
It is. I mean, I've seen almost the whole film without the stop final cuts and all that, without the music score added to it, which they're putting a 30-piece orchestra to it and
wow.
And doing they've got
Hans Zimmer.
I don't know who they got, but it's a gal. I forget her name, but she's the one putting it all together, and
nice.
and she's good. She's really good. So once they finally get it all done, it's gonna be an amazing film. But
the score makes a huge difference, so make sure to rewatch it.
Yeah, and I watched it with just like some whatever the editing music that they had to it, and that was good enough for me. I thought that was great. But he's like, no. The orchestra takes it to a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
And I was like, oh, that's going to be cool.
It's nice when you see something like A Quiet Place is a good example, just because of how literally quiet the whole movie is. The difference it makes not having any music the whole time versus having a sweeping orchestra. It completely changes the tone of your movie. You can be way more funnier with good music, or it can be horrifying if it's quiet. I was watching The Departed yesterday, and there's a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio like beats the shit out of the two Italian guys, and it's set to this like fun 70s rock music, and I'm like, this is horrifying. Like, this should not be as fun as it is, but it is because the music is just backing it.
Yeah, like one of the greatest of all time scenes was the in Reservoir Dogs when the cop was being held hostage and he's getting ready to torture him, and they play
plays,
Steelers wheel when he's dancing.
That was
around with
that was
knife,
the exact scene in my head when Joe said his thing too.
Exactly right.
cutting his
That
ears
was
off
on.
and stuff, and they're
Way
playing.
different tone. He's dancing.
And it was horrific. This guy's
Right in the
screaming bloody
middle.
murder, getting his ears cut off, and pouring gasoline on him, and it was just great, man.
That's what you get when you give Quentin Tarantino a lot of cocaine. He does whatever the hell he wants, and
Jeff,
let him
do we
keep
need
doing
to-
it. Let him keep doing it until the cocaine kills him. I'm all about it.
Jeff, we need to get you more coke, man, so we could get some of these crazy sequences.
You heard it, guys. We need to finance the cocaine habits.
Yeah,
so
that's
they
the
can-
budget.
Hey guys, we're gonna be upping our raise to $800,000 from
Yeah.
$750,000 for creative supplies.
Yeah. Now the
Creative supplies.
ceiling.
There you go.
Now the ceiling is $754,000. We're going to set $4,000 aside for cocaine.
That
That's
is
plenty.
not enough for cocaine.
I'll ask my accountant how to flag that in the QuickBooks, guys. And then we can
Put under catering.
Right on.
but-
So you mentioned, an opportunity for Hexicans to get involved and get not only, tax benefits, but an investment opportunity, and a way to market. Now let's talk a little bit more in depth about actually bringing Hexicans into the film itself, based on, the level of investment that they make, or, maybe just a mass event, like you said, like a concert. Tell me a little bit more about the ideas you guys have for bringing Hexicans actually into the film that want to be part of it that way.
Yeah. So, and we all collaborated on this idea, but we really want our investors, especially like in ones in the Hexican community, we'd love to actually for them to help make the movie possible in person. And so the first 30 or so who invest at least $5,000, we have an invitation to join us on set and be in the movie and wearing Hex and Pulse gear in the concert scene, and meet and get to know us and also how the movie gets made. Because I think that was really meaningful part for me as in like a film investor is actually seeing the project come to life and see like, what are my dollars doing? And then we also like our sponsorships also have places on set where there could be like banners or gears or stuff for people to see too that celebrities could see as well. So that's also a part of the sponsorship. So if we're able to like, really send it, we get big talent attached, and then we got this is a lot of sponsorship exposure.
That's right. I'm ecstatic to hang out with Alan Thicke. I've heard good things, and he cracks me up in the chat.
Right. So
there's other ways to get involved too. I think, Owen, you could briefly talk about, I don't know if you want to, but if people are more interested on like being involved as like a more of like a producerial aspect of it too. I'm not sure if that's worth mentioning.
Yeah. So we have like a few producer slots still open, and I think we talked about it on one of our
FN Hangout.
On the FN Hangout. So apologies if we beat a dead horse, but we did make a special IMDb credit that will be on IMDb called Hexican Lord if you invest at least $50,000. And so that's pretty exciting.
Hexican Lord, huh? That's going to be the IMDb credit.
With a T.
Now
Yeah,
explain to me what that means when you have an IMDb credit as an executive producer or a producer. What does that mean? I mean, it's just a pedigree in the film industry.
Yeah, Jeff, I think you could summarize this well.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think when someone has it's what they make of it. It's having a credit is, it's on IMDb. So yes, there's like the level of, you could point to it within like your own circle, but there's also, when the film comes out, it will travel across the US and internationally as well. So there's opportunities for people to come to screenings and be part of like going to a party with other filmmakers, with other films, with celebrities. And if they want to be involved in that way, they're able to, and they can kind of then be a part of the project on a more intimate level versus just as an investor. They can be at a party and point to a badge and say like, yeah, I'm involved with this film. I'm an associate producer. And if you're interested in the space of film, it's the easiest way to get involved with projects. Because sometimes there's like a gatekeeping aspect of this industry where it's difficult to kind of get involved with a project, not only a project, but a project that is worth getting involved with, I guess I'll say, is films that are actually getting released into the world. You know, there's like the studio systems, which is hard to get involved as an equity financier. And then there's independent projects, which are kind of more reliant on equity financing like ours. And there's plenty of other films to get involved with. And if you have certain things of interest that you want to get involved with, it's a cool opportunity to be a part of, I think.
Sweet.
Fully agree.
Now,
You get to see
how-
actors and cool people in Hollywood too.
Yeah, cool people in Hollywood. I lived there for many years, so I don't think there's any cool people left in Hollywood.
Nah, I'm sure there's still a few.
Hollywood
I love
is where all of the weirdos who got kicked out of their towns converge on to go live and try and make it.
Sounds right.
Like if you're too odd and too weird of a duck for your own state, community, whatever, you end up in Hollywood. That's what it's full of. It's full of the rejects from all over the country, in the world, actually. It's a crazy place. It's a crazy place.
Gotta stay hungry. That's what we always say. If you're not hungry, you're not growing.
Exactly. That's stay hungry. Well, Hexicans are always hungry. Now, how can they get involved? How do the Hexicans get involved? Do we just go to the firstnamesfilms.com website, or is there a special site for the Hexicans to go to?
So there's two places that I'm typing in the chat here. Hopefully the admins know that they don't delete basketball. So the first link is a link to our Telegram where we're at, and so you can ask us questions and you could read, the treatment and see some materials and watch a pitch video on the project. And we actually, Jeff, you should probably at the end of this say what the heck Mooch is about, because that's probably important. It's a great movie, and I think you want to be a part of it. So I just added, t.me/Mooch movie if you want to join our Telegram and like help us make this project possible. And if you want to get gains in a bear market, I recommend investing in this project. If you like film, I recommend investing. If you want to see, your favorite crypto project like Hex or Pulse get some cool promotion, I think you should invest in this project. I think there's a lot of reasons to do it. And then if you're an American, you can just not pay taxes anymore through this system, which I think is pretty cool. And then the second site is firstnamesfilms.com/invest, which is also in our Telegram, but that will basically explain a little bit about our vision for the project. And then you can click if you're ready to go and invest. The minimum is like $1,000, but if you want to donate, you can. Obviously, we accept crypto as well as USD because I learned DeFi from Richard, and we're implementing it in everywhere we can.
Nice. So they could get in and invest as little as $1,000 in, right?
Yeah, and I'll probably regret making it such a low minimum, but a lot of people want to participate, so
it's the last chance it'll be that low.
You will never be able to invest in a movie like this at this low. Like it's insane.
And as they get better and better, it's going to take more and more, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
the plan is we're going to do this not just once, but we're going to keep doing this, right? So maybe every year we might have something.
Yeah, we do give preferential treatment to our previous investors, and so you invest in this project now, then you can access future projects, and we'll make sure to take care of you moving forward. And there's a world where we don't bring a project again to a broader raise. It'd be like, hey, we got this awesome group of Hexicans, we fund these movies together, and then we sort of go from there.
I think that's probably worth mentioning too as well, Owen. It's just that for us, I think we would traditionally go to private equity outside of this. I think for us, this is kind of let's see how this goes, because I think there's a cool opportunity to be a community that builds this. And if it does go well, I think the plan is to open opportunities as much as possible to it, because it could kind of be the new staple and a new form of going outside of Hollywood to make movies. I think it's a pretty cool opportunity that excites us as well as, hopefully the community as well. I guess I should probably just mention that Mooch is it is a crime comedy similar to Burn After Reading, Big Lebowski, Fargo, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And it is a script that's very near and dear to my heart personally. It is based on a true story of like some horrible, like unfortunate situations that I got into when I was in high school. But it is super fun, super funny, and I highly recommend people going to the Telegram. You can watch the pitch video where there's like reference films and some of our past work that you can see there.
Yo, well, Far Out's asking. I see you answered in the chat. The 1,000 to 600,000 is the absolute maximum. Far Out's a good friend of ours, friend of the show, friend of our company. We partner with him in some things, but yeah, he's well. Shoot me a DM, bro. We'll talk. I already shot you a message too, by the way. Go check out your Telegram.
So I said 1,000 is the minimum, and then at this point 600,000 is the absolute maximum, because we need to protect investors, so we can't over raise, right? Because we have to get multiples on our budget, so we can't raise too big of a budget, so we have to cap.
I like that.
So that's
absolutely. But our goal, like we said, is every year we're going to have an opportunity. So if there's a maximum, there'll be something next year. Like if we hit our maximum, there'll be something else coming next year.
I love Henry's comment. He said, "I love donating to films." What's up, guys? Okay, imagine donating to a film and then you get more money than you put into it.
Right.
Yep. So actually investing, not just donating, but investing. So it's an opportunity of a lifetime to actually get in at this type of a level, and to be pumping your own bags, and to be getting a tax write-off, and to be actually able to be in the film itself, and promoting crypto and promoting Hex crypto on top of it. I'm telling you guys, when all the dust is cleared from this last bullshit session that we saw in crypto, Hexicans and the Hex community, what we do is going to really take crypto to the world. We're really going to show people what a real crypto community is all about. Remember, all the other cryptos failed their communities. Hex has never failed us. We have failed a lot of times, but we've been able to get back up and dust ourselves off because Hex is still there, still running strong, still no problems, still no hiccups, still going up and to the right, still doing its thing. Nothing can change it. And that's what a crypto is supposed to do to a community. So we can make lots of mistakes. And I think that these are the things that we need to learn how to do and get out into the real world with this messaging through movies and this kind of media. So
and very, very last thing, I know you're trying to wrap it up probably, but people are asking, yes, Lacey Claire Rogers is in the movie. And if you want to hang
Lacey's
out with
in the
her,
next movie. Yeah.
If you want to hang out with her, you should invest as much as you can into this one.
And she's my neighbor too. She lives right out here.
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah, she's cool.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
So I can't wait to. So she's in Mooch then.
That's right.
Yeah, she is.
Nice.
Yeah, she's got a funny part. I'm excited for it.
Jeff.
Pretty hilarious.
Briefly, your thoughts on her being and her role and character and stuff.
Little teaser.
Yeah, I mean, we were excited. I mean, Owen mentioned it to us, and kind of we had a good Zoom call, and then she put a few scenes on tape, and we were all super pumped about it, and she's super talented. I think she's also she just seems like someone really cool to hang out with. So I think we're gonna probably all have a good time. That's part of the vibe on set. Like no assholes on set is kind of our number one rule.
Yeah.
And she seems like a team player, which is awesome.
Hardworking team players. That's what we got to get.
Sweet. Right on, guys. You got anything last to say before we wrap it up here?
I love Alan Thicke.
Thank you to everyone who considers too. I genuinely, it's awesome.
I would say congrats on the green candles. May there be many more. I hope we get our freedoms back. I hope we get our privacy back, and I hope you all support us. And
come meet us on set and have a beer.
Yeah, I think there's some really annoying people in Hollywood, so it's good to support getting cool people in that sort of get what
Yes,
we're all
definitely.
about, so.
Clean that damn town up. Let's clean that
1000%.
town up and make it full of Hexicans.
Get Captain back to
Some of
work
you.
acting.
Some of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, get me back
Get
to work.
Captain a
acting.
top role. But thank you. Yeah, thanks for everyone who invests.
Right on, everybody. Well, again, you can actually go to their website, first names with an S films.com, and you can actually do it there. They've got to click on the menu button and you can go to the investors button. Is it donate or investor? It says investor, I think.
I think it says invest.
Yeah, it says invest. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add it again just so.
Yeah, it's invest. It's on the very bottom of the. Right on. All right, guys. Thanks for coming, man. We'll have you on again, do some updates and get this out to the community more as we learn more, as more develops. Appreciate you guys for coming on. Hang out in the game room for a quick second. I'll see you in a minute. See you guys. I'll see you. Actually, we're going to see you tomorrow because I have a special guest coming on tomorrow. Not that these guys aren't special, but we have the reason I'm doing a show tomorrow is because it was the only day he could do it. He asked if I would, and it's Head from Corn is going to be on our stream on the Chatting with the Captain tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh, that's sick.
We're going to be
So
rocking.
sick.
Can't wait.